This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, everybody, to the Whispers Racing Podcast, Makybe Diva Stakes Day, another Group 1. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Yep, going well. Another Group 1, so can't wait.
The Diva, the best of the best.
Yeah, I was thinking of my top 5. I don't know why I have these random thoughts. And I had to she's in my top 2. She is, growing up, turning that age of 18, 19 and seeing something that we will never, ever see again, which is 3 Melbourne Cups at handicap. I just, love her.
Oh, I don't know why they put university exams on Melbourne Cup Day, but they do. And some people leave early just to go and watch the Diva, and I was one of them.
I'm glad. I just wish they'd name the race a bit further than 1,600 metres.
Yeah, interesting one. Interesting. But no, lovely to have a race day at HQ named after it.
Yeah, bloody oath. You can go see the statue if anyone's interested. It doesn't move.
Mate, how did you go last week?
How did I go last week? It was a tricky day. We knew it was going to be leaderish. We mentioned that on the podcast. I didn't take full advantage of it personally from my pockets. But we found Mr. Brightside, and I think so did half of the 90% of the country.
Absolutely. Also found Trosh as well, and we gave Trosh he was paying about $7 or $8 at the time when we recorded the podcast last week. So hopefully the community jumped on that. Willow just took it straight to the lead, and it was quite an easy watch.
It paid $5 in the end.
Paid about $5. I think I'll have a quick look. It was $7.50 when we recorded.
I'm surprised there was no money for it, really, because I just, as you said, jump, lead, win, and it was like a textbook. And when they crossed the line, I thought, geez, that might have started $4, and no, there was no money for it. I thought it was weird.
Oh, look, coming down from Sydney, sometimes there's not a lot of money for the Sydney horses, but it was definitely suited by the conditions, unlike Coolangatta, who didn't go around the valley too well. So the pineapple will be handed across to yourself. I think Coolangatta, look, stay with it. I don't think it was suited on the day. We'll hand the pineapple over to your good self, and I know you've got something in mind.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Coolangatta. If she can go back to her own sex and age, she will win. It was good preview by me in that race. I retired a horse, so that goes on the in the resume. Retired a horse away game. She's had a great career, but it was great retiring her. That was good for the punters at home. Felt good losing by 18 lengths. So you could say the pineapple's going in really good hands for this week.
Oh well, mate. I'll give you a tip. Go with either a 2-year-old or 3-year-old race. You won't be retiring anything.
Oh, you never know. You just never know. Buying shares in. You buying anything this week?
Mate, we'll add to the portfolio. Heading up to Sydney, where in race number 8, didn't win the race, but it's been in my black book for a little while, and I think it's a horse that can win a nice race over the spring, which was Benno. So Knight's Order won that race. And look, it was in the market and got an okay ride by Willie Pike. But I do believe across this carnival, it's going to win a nice race, and we'll keep an eye out for it. So we'll pop it into the portfolio, and we'll let the punters know when we think it's well suited.
Yeah, agree. I haven't really got buying shares in, but I just think it's interesting. There's a few experts potting Mr. Brightside, saying can't win the Cox Plate. They're entitled to their opinion, but I think sometimes you just got to trust your eye and what you see. I was absolutely gobsmacked how much it won by. I didn't expect it by that much. Yeah, it was a slow tempo, but it came home really quick and was the quickest 200 of the meeting. So it went quicker than a 1,000 meter race. Right, Rothfire, Coolangatta, Zoo style. So I think it's got to be merit to it. I'm not saying it's going to win the Cox Plate, but you just got to respect it, I think, not just write it off. What internationals are coming? I don't think there's any coming for the Cox Plate. So I just think we've just got to hold our jets, not write him off. He's only second up. And if the camp says there's improvement in it, well, you just got to respect it, I think.
You know what it's proven as well? He can run around the valley. There's a lot of
Correct.
horses that can't do that. So I'll tell you, I would be writing it off for a Cox. I actually went back and had a look at the All-Star Mile, which it ran in. I was having a look at Pinstripe, and it absolutely flew home behind
Yep.
Zaki. It ran fourth and got held up on the bend. It has not run a bad race for, call it 9 months.
Yep.
So
Oh.
anyway, it'll be one to watch out for.
I just don't know what more it could have done on a slow tempo. But hey, there's better judges than me. But I just think it's a talking point to look at. Yeah, cash out. You got anything?
No, mate. As I said, we're just building the portfolio at the moment. Look, it's interesting. Spanish Mission, that ran exceptionally well as well. We've got that within the portfolio, and I can see that gearing up for a really good preparation. So just again, we'll let the punters know when we think it's really well suited. But just when you see horses like that running on late, you know that they're going to be in for a decent preparation. So another one that's within the portfolio already, and we'll be keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, I believe they're having one more start and then the Melbourne Cup.
Okay.
So the old European thing. One thing I will add as well, I don't want to make this a political show, but the Melbourne Racing Club have their nominees for the new committee. Now, if you are a member, I suggest you vote and vote with whoever you want. But there are some people going for committee that want to keep Sandown. I personally want to keep Sandown because the participants want to keep it. I am there for the participants. If the trainers and the jockeys want to use it and say it's one of the best tracks, I'm going to follow them in. They've always got max fields. They're big fields every Wednesday. Yes, the facilities are shit, but please, if you are not voting and you're you are a member, please vote for those people that want to save Sandown. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to become political, but just do a bit of research. There's 4 of them. So please try and save Sandown because I don't think MRC do. That's just my personal view. Track stats. Rail true. Little bit of rain around. We're getting a bit now. Should be around soft 5 come race time. It drains pretty well. The beautiful Flemington track. Every horse will get their chance. Personally, I won't be looking for horses that lead. It's very hard to lead in those circle races. I'm not saying they can't win, but I just find it very difficult. And down the straight, we'll be looking for horses from the middle to wide. Except barrier race 1, the 2-year-olds, they always go to the rail. So keep that in mind. Trial trackers. I've actually found one today. Put it in your black book because I think it's in for a good prep. Race 2, number 2, Young Werther. Had 3 jump outs. Really liked him, especially the last one. Hit the line well with Midnight Blue, who ran well last Saturday. I feel it's in for a big prep. Form reads well from 2021, especially his second to Incentivize from barrier 13. Will probably be near last and be looking for this horse to hit the line hard. But I think it's going to run a big race Saturday. Don't think it'll win, but maybe second or third would be lovely for the each-way punters. But put it in your black book because I think he can win a big, big race this spring. Race 4, the Sofitel, Matty. You want to preview it?
Oh, well, just on Young Werther, I remember Danny O'Brien around about this time last year saying it was going to be in for a decent preparation. So, look, the stable do rate that horse exceptionally highly. So, as Worm said, pop it into the black book. And I know Worm has, so we'll let you know when we think it's well suited. But it's definitely got plenty of ability. All right, mate. Race 4. Have you got the odds for us?
Yeah, I do. Very open race here. $5 the field. Bermudez around the 480. Pinstripe $5. We've got Scalapini $6. El Rocco $6.57. Our Playboy $11 and Blue Army $13 and around $15 plus the rest.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Surreal Image is going to get a very, very early lead. That will be the last time I mention that horse. It will not be winning. Look, Pinstripe is it's one that we've backed before on the show. And tell you what, is it just here for a run given it's drawn the car park? I reckon that's the key question here. I would love to be backing it, and I think it's got the ability to be winning a race like this. But tell you what, barrier 16 is not going to be easy across the 1,400 metres. Look, the 4 that I want to go through in this worm, Scalapini, definitely in the mix. Back in class, should get a really easy run on the rails. You're going to have Surreal Image take off from barrier number 1, and Scalapini will just follow it out of from barrier number 2. You might find 1 or 2 horses cross it, but it's probably going to be in the top 5, 6 horses. So Scalapini, Damien Lane, look, it's probably going to need a little bit of, he's going to need a little bit of luck as he goes around the bend off the rails. If he does find some space, Scalapini is going to be right in this. Pinstripe, as I mentioned, look, the wide barrier is the only thing putting me off here. It's got the ability to be winning a race like this. It looks like it. I think they're going to try and find a spot. I can't see it going all the way back. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's potentially sitting 3 wide. It could get some cover. And look, we'll see how they're running on the day. But realistically, race 4, you're not going to get a whole lot before the race. But tell you what, I love how this horse had run previous preparation. Beating Pizarro in the Haze was huge against High Totsu when it ran 5th. Disappointing the All-Star Mile. And that's what I mean. Is it just here for the run, and it's going to have bigger goals further and deeper into its preparation? So just one to keep in mind with it. Interesting horse from the Price stable, Blue Army, lightly raced 4-year-old. Look, I didn't mind its trial against when it ran home behind Pinstripe. Well, I know you didn't rate that trial too highly, so I'd be interested to get your thoughts. I think this is one at odds that it's going to get a decent run in the race. And look, it might not be winning this, but I expect it to be top 5. And at $13, it's one that I'll be keeping an eye on, especially from a market point of view. So John McNeil on board. The stable does have wraps on it. So as I said, only lightly raced. So it'd be interesting to see how that one does run. Where I've landed though, worm is Bermudez. Look, runs exceptionally well fresh, which it is here. It builds into races really nicely. It's got a middle gate, and it's probably going to get some cover sitting better than midfield. Really liked its run last preparation against Gentleman Roy. And because it does run over 1,600 metres, if this horse finds the lead with 200 metres to go, it's going to be really difficult to get past. So at around about that $5 mark, I think Bermudez is where I'm landing. Worm, how did you see this one?
I'll start off with the jump out of Blue Army. It's had 3. It's a tricky one because it was hard ridden a little bit. He wasn't really making ground in that jump out. I thought he could have gone better, but by Sababil, he probably wanting a bit further. So I'm not going to write him off and say it was bad, but 1,400, I reckon it might be looking for the 1,800 now. So it's a watch for me on that one.
Yep.
The horse I'm going to be with is Scalapini. You just can't be knocking the horses from Queensland. They've been winning all their group early races down here. So Scalapini's the one. Good first up at Caulfield. If Ollie doesn't drop the whip, does it change the result? It's up to anyone there. last start set 3 wide, no cover, and did really well. And we know how well Mr. Brightside went last week. So I'm going to be with Scalapini. I think the odds is pretty good at $6. I think we should be, I reckon, I thought $4, but 100% agree with Bermudez. Scary reading its form. Rose Cortez, Gentleman Roy, Anton, and beat Harder Passants. So
definitely lines up and fresh. Oh, I think it's going to be very, very tough to beat. And as I said, Scalapini, it's very, very consistent, and it's back in its class, and that's the thing that's really going to help it here. So look, it's going to get the easy run on the rails. Damien Lane will just need that little bit of luck as it comes around the corner. If it finds a split, it could be very, very hard to catch. So, yeah, look, can definitely see how you've landed on that. Look, the only other one I wanted to mention was Blaze a Trail. I think it's progressing really nicely from the Mar Houston stable. I couldn't necessarily find it within this race here. I wouldn't be surprised if it does run a nice race at a decent price. So one that I'll be keeping an eye on, but won't be having a bet on it.
yeah, it just that Bermudez. I find it weird here that it SP'd 370 against Gentleman Roy and $4 at Rose Cortez. That was first up. You're now getting $5. Are we getting $5 because of the barrier? Most probably, but you can sit 3 wide and still win.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad barrier. You're going to find a lot of horses on its inside going to be a little bit slower away. So I still see it sitting in the top 6 within this field, and probably finding cover. And it's going to have the opportunity just to be peeling out at the right time. Daniel Stackhouse should be finding every chance to be finding some clear air going down the straight and looking the winner at some stage.
Yep, agree. Race 5, I'm going to preview Makybe Diva Stakes, Group 1 over 1,600. The odds, we got the favourite, I'm Thunderstruck, 240. Alligator Blood, 480. Cascadian, $6. Western Empire, $6.50. Mwanga, $10. Maybe left a zero off that. Regal Power, 15. She's Ideal, 34. And Nonconformist, $34. I think the main talking point here is the speed map. I think that's what's more intriguing about this race. We've got change of jockey with Alligator Blood. He has Timmy Clark, one of the best front-running jockeys on board, and it should be uncontested to the lead. And should just get every chance of winning. Yes, I said that leaders on circle races cannot win, but he's going to be uncontested, and I just wonder if he's going to be right up there. Barrier 1 for Thunderstruck. This is interesting here. Do they use it? Camp behind Alligator Blood? Or will they try and sit midfield? If they try and sit midfield, I think they're going to see some rear ends for a long time. And when the race is on, it could be stuck and waiting. It's going to need a perfect Mark Zara ride. I can't see Western Empire going forward this time. I think they'll go back and hit the line hard. I think it's D-Day. We're going to find out where he's at, and I hope we find out for the right way. In saying that, I'm happy to have a play here on Cascadian. I feel its best wins have been when it sat handy last prep. Last start, watch the replay. I'm Thunderstruck was making his run and off and gone, and Cascadian was held up and waiting for a gap and had the cross heels, hit the line well, wasn't far off I'm Thunderstruck. I feel if Cascadian had any luck last start, I think it would have beaten I'm Thunderstruck. I know people are going to disagree with me on that, but at 6s, I feel it's a good bet, and Blake Shin stays on, and he's absolutely airborne. Matty.
Look, it's hard to really talk down any of these. I think this will be a cracking race. And look, as you mentioned, it's going to be an interesting speed map. I don't like on Thunderstruck from barrier number 1. I loved how the tempo suited it at Caulfield. I don't think this tempo is going to suit it as much. And I'm a big on Thunderstruck fan. So we're going to need to just monitor and see how Flemington is playing to see if barrier number 1 is going to give it any chance whatsoever. Look, there's a couple of the Peters horses here that I'm really interested to see how they run. And as you mentioned, Western Empire at Flemington, drawn barrier number 5, it will be able to sit wherever it wants. If it cannot win this race, it's not going to be winning big races over the spring. Now, it is up against a couple of very, very good horses, Alligator Blood and On Thunderstruck, but it should be winning this race.
Yep. Yeah, like even the prices here, it just like I'm hearing a few people say I'm Thunderstruck starts with a 3 in front of it. So if you like it, wait. But I personally don't see it getting the 3s. I think it gets to 220 in come race time. I think Cascadian does drift to about $8, so I'm going to wait on it. Alligator Blood, I don't know. Western Empire was well played first up, so does that come into around $5? Oh, it's just like non-conformist at 34s. I reckon that comes into 21s, and I think She's Ideal starts with a 1 in front of it at 100s. So I just think the market's, well, it's at 117%, but I think it's going to change a fair bit here.
Oh, so do I. Look, I think 650 on Western Empire is a really, really good price. I wouldn't be surprised if it started in at $5 or $4.50. So I think it's probably going to be the one that they come for, just given its numbers. And Moonga, now I couldn't tip that to anybody given its last start, but who knows? It might have just been an off day for it. If not, and if it does run like that, very disappointing. But look, you're going to find out with Jamie Carr on board.
Yep, definitely. I think it's its last run. I think it's going to start after this. I think it's done, cooked. Throw it in the bin. Enjoy your stud career, big fella. But thanks for coming.
It'll be an interesting one. You may have just retired another one.
Yeah, without tipping it. Yeah, what's up, guys? If you want to join our community, get our thoughts for the weekend or during the week, come and join. It's been a bit quiet this week due to the heavy tracks, but there's been a few winners from the community, so they're sharing their winners. NFL's kicking off, so I'm surely there's going to be some fat multis going around late Sunday night. So come and get involved. I'm going to throw out a multi now for the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs to beat my Arizona Cardinals, who are going to be horrible, I think, with all the controversy there around. So $1.39 into Dallas Cowboys at $2.14 to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know I'm a bit silly tipping the Dallas Cowboys, but I think they're in for a good show here. And that's $3. So there's a freebie for you. So, yeah, DM me if you want to come and join the fun, because once the good tracks start, it's going to be a lot of fun. Race 7 I'm doing. Yes, sorry. Let's Elope Stakes, 1400 Group 2 here. Big field here. Lady of Honor I've got leading here. But I see it just setting a really yuck tempo, really slow. Could be really bunched up when they're straightening. In saying that, I'm going to be with Flying Mascot. Should get the perfect run from barrier 5 right behind the leaders or even sitting outside the leader. It's had some nice wins when sitting on pace, and it should just get near that middle of the track where they like to win from. I know Kiss on All Four Cheeks beat it home last start, but around the 200-metre mark, watch the replay. I don't know if Flying Mascot put in a bad stride or something happened to it because it lost momentum. I'm worried Kiss on All Four Cheeks from barrier 14 could be near the rear and 3 wide. Not ideal, but it's okay to be there. But it could be just a bit further back than they want to be. We'll have to do some catching if Flying Mascot sits behind the leaders. I also want to have a little play here on Yearnings. Now, I did say it was at 30s. It's now into 20s. First up, I liked his most recent jump out in Sydney, hit the line well, and barrier 9 probably sits midfield and can find some clear air. It is a knockout chance. The other one I'm keen to look at here is Le Dragon T. Will be a black booker of the race. I like his European form, and his first prep in Adelaide was good, and I think it was just an educational prep for this big watch. Matty.
Love to be able to back Kiss on All Four Cheeks here, but barrier 14... across the 1,400 metres, you just don't get much time. So it's going to be really hard for it to find a slot. I don't necessarily see going back. I see them actually, Mark Zara being on board, trying to get in and find some cover, which I think it's going to be exceptionally tough. So, look, Flying Mascot is going to be the one. Now, you'd imagine Lady of Honor will go forward, and whether it tries to find a sit behind it, or hopefully does get some cover. And I just think, given it's going to have an easier run, like a significantly easier run than Kiss on All Four Cheeks, it's going to be the one to beat. If Kiss on All Four Cheeks was barrier 10 or better, I would have been all over it. I just believe that the run Flying Mascot's going to get in this race is going to be much more suited. And you mentioned the word tempo, much more suited to this tempo than what Kiss on All Four Cheeks is. So, yeah, unfortunately, I would have loved to have been all over Kiss on All Four Cheeks here.
Yeah, definitely. The two bottom ones here, I'm Benet and Cuban Link, coming out of benchmark races, 78 and 70, both won beautifully last start, both of them. Interesting to see how they'll go against this lot. I am Benet, $7 and Cuban Link, $18. So interesting how they will go, but I just don't like horses benchmark into city grade or into Saturday against the big boys or girls.
Just one I wanted to ask a question on was Foxy Frida. How did you see it? Obviously, it's been running in group races. Do you think it's any chance in a field like this?
I could only find one jump out for it. Went okay. Thought it was all right. Ollie comes on board here. I don't think he's ever ridden a horse, so that's an interesting booking. Beat Le Dragon T by 2.4, who I'm giving a little push at $17. Market's founded at $8. Floxy Fleeta. Yeah, not going to knock it.
Well, look, it's going to drop back. So for whatever reason, if anything's to come from the back of the field, I think it's got a chance. But yeah, interesting. I think you're 100% right with how you assess that race.
Let's just hope the result goes our way. Around the grounds, Matty, what do you like?
Mate, we're going to start off in race number 1. Now, it's only going to be a small play. Only a small play.
Oh.
But it's one at odds. One at $30 and $7 a place. It's one that I've backed before, Renoso. Now, as a 2-year-old, this thing could not run in a straight line to save itself. It's just won its maiden up in New South Wales. Won its trial, and you know what? It ran in a straight line. So as horses progress from being a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old, they develop significantly. And this is a horse that could push a very, very good field. But I think it's well and truly up to it. So at 30 and 7s, I'll be having a piece of it. Kind of be a 1/4 play. And fingers crossed we get off to an absolute ripper.
Yeah. I'm not going to add much. Anything else you like?
Mate, race 8, down the straight, the Astrologist, $4 a place. I'll be having a sneaky piece of that, consistent. And it's an open race, but at $4, I think if you back it each time down the straight, you're coming down to winner. So I'll be having a small piece of it. Yeah,
track stats don't lie on that horse. That's one thing you got to take out of Flemington down the straight.
This is very true. So they're the two. We'll wait to see on the day just how wet the track's going to be, and we'll shoot that around to the WhatsApp community.
Beautiful. I'm going to go Rose Hill here. Race 9, number 10. I don't really venture up to Sydney, but Shades of Rose. How can you not be with this horse? Jumps, leads, wins. J-Mac jumps off for Espiona, which scares me a little bit, but I think he's jumping on Espiona for the future because it's going to go deep into a prep where I think Shades of Rose has 1 or 2 more starts before it drops off. But Rachel King jumps on. I think barriers no concern. She can just drift across when she's ready. And yeah, I think just an even tempo and just wins. And I think it's a nice price to get involved after winning by 4.5 and 3.5 in benchmark races. I think it's up to these. Multi-time. I am going to chuck in Shades of Rose the win, Cascadian the place, and Matty, you're chucking in?
Renoso the place, good value, $7. And Bermudez the place.
Beautiful. That comes to $87. So if that launches, I don't think there'll be a podcast next week. We'll be on a nice little holiday.
Well, I know you'll be on Renoso as well, so you'll be cheering that home as loudly as what I will, won't you?
Yeah, I will be. I'll go very, very small the win, and I'll have something big to place because that leads us into the pineapple of the week. We're going Flemington race 1, number 6 Duel. He's had 2 lovely jump outs and looks to come back really nicely. Liked his first start down the straight. He over raced a little, and then he just put the field away nicely. I don't think he was anywhere near fit. Spelled straight away. I love that. They go out a winner and they're going to come back a winner. I know it's aimed for the Coolmore as its grand final, but it should be putting this lot away quite easily. It's a very, very poor 3-year-olds this season, and I think this is one of the top seeds. So should be winning. Just go and look at the run to the Rose in Sydney. That is disgusting. So Flemington, race 1, number 6, Duel, chips in. Anything else to add, Matty?
Can't believe you've gone against me. No, I can. I can. I found that one as well, but when I did review the race, I thought Renoso was well and truly overs, so I want to have a piece of that. I can definitely see that as being the pineapple of the week and wouldn't be surprised if it lobs.
You went against me last week and I retired the horse. So I thought I'd go one. I'd go against you again and see if we can actually get a winner out of the pineapple.
All right, mate.
Thank you for listening, guys. Please subscribe. Please get involved. I am putting questions out on social media. No one's responding, so please get involved. Like, swipe, left, right. Just, your local podcast, your YouTube. Get involved, punters, because we want to interact with you. Thanks again, Matty.
Mate, good punting. Giddy up and looking forward to getting to headquarters.
Yeah, beautiful. Hopefully we fill your pockets up. More importantly, we hope we fill your pockets up. Talk again next Thursday night for, I don't know what the next meeting is. Maybe Rupert Clark. I don't know, but we'll see you next Thursday. And we'll just end the show with our favourite number 1 customer.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.